Hello, my football fans, and welcome to the Touchdown Lady podcast, where we talk about football and a whole lot more. I'm your host, Sandy. We talk football in this program from a fan's point of view. Let's just get into it. Now, the first game I'm going to talk about is the Thursday night game. It was a divisional game between Miami and the Bills. Now, this was starting of week 2 in the regular season for the NFL games. And boy, this matchup was a good one. Now, the Bills came in there into Miami, and they dominated over Miami. On offense and defense, they just dominated. Josh Allen looks good in the pocket. He used his leg a little bit. He spread the ball around, and they really looked good on offense. Defense, they was able to shut down Miami, and so they went in there and they did their thing. But I want to talk about the Bills for a little bit. Now, last year, at the end of the year, back in November, when the Bills were struggling, everybody counted the Bills out. They had lost like 5 games straight, and they changed their offensive coordinator to Joe Brady. Well, ever since Joe Brady's been making those calls, they've been winning games. And for me, this is a continuation of last year. Joe Brady came in there and they won 5 games straight, and they actually wound up winning the AFC East Division. This is a continuation from that for me, and I see how they are spreading the ball around, and they have a different look to them this year. So I can't wait to see them for the rest of the season in these games. Now we're going to talk about Miami. Now, Miami struggled from the time they got on that field. As soon as the first possession, I think Tua threw an interception, and they just never got any momentum after that on offense and defense. They was not able to stop the Bills in the run game or the pass game. Waddle and Hill was shut down. They didn't do too much on the field as well. But in the fourth quarter, Tua was trying to get some extra yardage down in the red zone, and he wound up hitting into Damar Hamlin, and he wound up hitting him, and he wound up getting a concussion. So Tua was taken out the game. He's still in concussion protocol, so we don't know how long he's going to be out right now. They're not really saying. But this is the 13th time that these two teams met up. And out of the 13 games, the Bills won 12 of these games. So this is a real rivalry here going on. So, yeah. So overall, this was a good game. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I like the way the Bills look. I hope they continue on. They won 2 games straight. So shout out to the Bills. Now I want to talk about the Lions and the Buccaneers. Now, I had the Lions to win this game. I like the way the Lions played last week against the Rams. They was tough. They ran the ball well. I thought they did a lot of things right in last week's game with the Rams. So I'm thinking that they're winning this game. Well, that did not happen. The Bucs came in there and they did their thing. Baker Mayfield had 185 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. Goff, he had 307 yards and 2 interceptions. But my thing with Jared Goff, I like him as a quarterback, but he's inconsistent. That's just my opinion. He's inconsistent with his playing. I think the whole team as a whole in this game just was not there on offense and defense. They just never pulled together to be able to win this game. On the other side, the Buccaneers came in here. They stick to their game plan. They did a really good job on offense and defense. So, yeah, we have to wait and see if the Lions can turn it around. Yeah, and they are kind of the favorites to win the division, their division. But right now, they have to make some adjustments for that. But shout out to the Bucs for winning this game in Detroit. The next game I want to talk about is Kansas City and the Bengals. Now, this game made me crazy. I love Joe Burrow, and everybody knows that Joe Burrow can beat Mahomes. That didn't happen in this game. But the Bengals really look good this week compared to last week, week 1, when they played against the Patriots. They struggled bad on offense and defense. They didn't score any points in the first half of that game. And like I said, the Patriots wound up dominating over them. So the Bengals this week really stepped out on offense and defense. They turned things around. They made some adjustments. Yes, they had a couple of penalties, but not as much as they had in the game against the Patriots. They moved the ball well. I think the running game was pretty well. They struggled a little bit on the passing game, but the game was always kept close. And they should have been able to win this game. But in the the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter of this game, I don't know if it's the fourth quarter, Jamar Chase got a 15-yard penalty, a costly penalty. He didn't get the call that he think he deserved it. The referees didn't call the penalty on Kansas City. So he got up, We went over to the ref. The ref said, okay, I understand. We didn't get the call. We didn't make the call. Okay. The ref started to walk away from Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase proceeded to follow the ref and was still trying to talk to him. You know, he was upset. You know, tip was flaring. And the ref turned around and gave him a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike shit. And that caused, to me, my opinion, at that point, that caused the Bengals the game. Joe Burrow was trying to get him to calm down. It didn't work. He was, you know, upset. I understand that he felt he should have got that call, but it didn't happen. So they wound up getting a 15-yard penalty. So the ball went over to Kansas City. Okay, Kansas City's moving the ball. You know they're moving the ball well. They're moving it downfield. They're doing the pass thing. Mahomes throws the ball. One of the players, one of the defensive men on the Bengals got pass interference, 10 yards, and that was all she wrote. At that point, Kansas City was in field goal range, and they was able to win the game again with a field goal. Now, here's my thing about Kansas City when you play against Kansas City. I always say this. In the fourth quarter is the quarter that counts. That's when they win their game, is in the fourth quarter. What happens that I've been seeing is that the opponents, when it comes to the fourth quarter, whoever Kansas City is playing, start getting penalties in the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth quarter, it just seems like the team that they're going against always get the penalties, and Mahomes and them always get the yardage that they needed from those penalties that's been committed by their opponent, and they always wind up winning this game. So my thing is this. You can't let Kansas City have the last possession of this game because they know how to work the clock. And you can't have any penalties if you're playing against them in the fourth quarter. Because 9 times out of 10, my opinion, they're going to come away with the game. And that's what happened in this game. They wound up kicking a field goal, beating the Bengals 26-21, which I thought Joe Burrow and them had this game won. They was pretty much outplayed Kansas City throughout this whole game, but it came down to the fourth quarter. Yeah. Made me a little crazy on that one. I'm going to let that go. Now I want to talk about Monday's game, Monday Night Football game between the Falcons and the Eagles. Now, this was a really good game. Cousins came out there with the Falcons, and they really did their thing. I was really shocked how they performed on offense and defense. They moved really well as a unit, especially in the pass game. Let me tell you, the pass game that the Falcons had on Monday night, unbelievable. Every time the Cousins threw that ball, especially to Robinson, it was just getting chunks of yardage down the field. I mean, they moved that ball really well. The offense was able to run through the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense was okay, but it was not enough to stop the run or the pass of the Falcons. The Eagles left men on the defenders, left men by the open, wide open at sometimes. They couldn't stop the run game on the side. It was just, yeah. The Falcons came in there and they outplayed the Eagles. Now, Jalen Hurts, I have to say, he did a really good job of running out. He looked like Jalen Hurts from 2022. He was using his legs a lot in this game. He actually got a touchdown in this game. He really was moving the ball and using his legs. I like the way he looked. And now he has to get everybody else on board as far as offense and defense. But they wasn't bad on offense for the Eagles. I thought they played really well as well. They was able to move the ball, get a little run game going. But the Falcons, let's talk about the fourth quarter. The Falcons in the fourth quarter. Okay, let me do the setup for you guys. The Eagles got the ball. They're down in the Falcons' territory. They need to get a first down to win the game. Okay, they're setting up. Hurts getting ready. He throws the ball to Barkley, and Barkley drops the ball. That was at 1:54 in the game. Barkley drops the ball. Okay, the ball goes off, turnover. They have to punt the ball to the Falcons. Let me tell you, they punted that ball to the Falcons, and I think in 3 plays, they was already in the red zone. Literally, the Falcons, that's how fast they moved that ball in the pass game on that field. I think it was just 3 plays, and they was already in the red zone. Then they got down in the red zone, threw a touchdown, and they wound up winning the game 22-21. I know. They were so close, the Eagles. But overall, this was a good game. I really enjoyed these 2 teams playing against each other. But the Falcons really surprised me with the performance that they did in this game. It was a really good performance for the Falcons. So shout out to the Falcons. Now I want to get in and talk about the Carolina Panthers. They now recently benched Bryce Young, the overall #1 draft pick quarterback from 2023. I feel some kind of way about that. I'm just going to say I feel some kind of way about that. And here's the reason why. When they drafted him back in 2023, they put him out there with an offense that couldn't win games, in a defense that couldn't stop their opponents on that field. They let him struggle the whole season. My opinion, they let him struggle the whole season. They did not give him help. They did not try to improve the offensive line. He had no protection at all. Every time you see him, he was running for his life, running out the pocket. He took so many hits. I'm surprised he did not get injured. But that's what my beef is. They should have pulled him last year and got a veteran in there instead of letting him struggle through the whole season. That's just my only beef. But now they benched him. They're going to have Andy Dalton come in there, and let's see if we can turn the team around. I don't think so right now. The Panthers haven't done anything since 2017 when Cam Newton took them to the playoff. After that, they haven't done anything at all as far as a winning team. But I just feel that Bryce was not put in a good situation for him to be successful. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But for those of you who want to reach me and ask me questions or talk about something on the air, you can email me at touchdownladies@gmail.com. Again, that's touchdownladies@gmail.com. Well, I like to end the show on a fun fact. This is the part of the show where it's called Fun Fact in Football, where I pull something out of here. It could be a fact, a fun, to end the show with. Let me just see. I don't know what we're going to get. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. So this is a fun fact. The longest field goal ever made was a 66-yarder. That kick was made by the Baltimore Ravens' Justin Tucker in 2021. Only a handful of other players have ever made a 60-yard-plus field goal. And that is the fun fact. And this has been Sandy from the Touchdown Ladies saying, don't forget to smile, be happy, be kind, put your action behind your plan, and keep moving forward. And I'll talk to you later.